If you've been on TikTok for more than like 5 minutes, you probably have seen a video stating something like, the universe responds to your subconscious, not your conscious mind. So if you want to change your life and align with the reality that you want, you need to reprogram your subconscious. And that's all well and good and fine and dandy. However, if you're neurospicy like me, your brain immediately goes, cool, how do I do that? And that's usually when the entire framework falls apart. You see, neurospicy people like us, that we don't learn because people tell us to write stuff down. We don't learn because people tell us to believe things. We learn from frameworks. We learn from analogies. We learn by understanding the how and the why behind things. The biggest problem with most subconscious advice, in my opinion, I'm Nadia, I'm neurospicy, I'm also astrologist, is that everyone assumes the subconscious speaks the same language. And I don't think it does. I don't think it does at all. I think your birth chart can actually shows you what the conversation between your conscious mind and your subconscious are. And most importantly, what language do they speak? Because they don't all speak the same language. Now, if you'll be so kind as to fuel my little data addiction in the comments, I would love to know who rules your 6th house and who rules your 12th house, because we're looking at that axis today. I'm going to give you the exact blueprint, regardless of the order, of what your language is of your subconscious and conscious mind, based on which signs rules the 6th and the 12th. Now, when we're doing structural work, where we're trying to understand our blueprint, we always want to work in whole sign rather than Placidus. Placidus gives it a nuanced layer, but for the nitty gritty getting into the structure, I always recommend using whole sign. So we're going to look at this axis, the 6th house and the 12th house. The 6th house is literally your conscious mind. It's your routines, it's your daily actions, it's the way you operate. And the 12th house is probably one of the most misunderstood houses in the entire zodiac. The 12th house is literally your subconscious. Everything that happens from the 1st all the way to the 11th is what programs the 12th. Now, the trick is that is hidden. You don't control that. Your subconscious controls that. But what you feed it shows what the editing of your life and what the movie you are living will look like. If you have a Virgo Pisces axis, then the language they're speaking is meaning. Virgo wants to make plans and Pisces wants to feel. So one of the bridge exercises that I do very often is I sit down for 2 minutes. I visualize the outcome of a scenario or something that I would like. Then immediately after that 2 minutes, write down one thing, a small thing I can do that will get me a little closer to my goal. And that gets my Virgo and Pisces to start seeing that meaning has both a feeling part as well as an action part. If Libra and Aries rule that axis, then choice is the language that you're speaking. Libra wants reflection and Aries wants action. So a 2-minute exercise that you can do is take a decision, give yourself a 2-minute limit to make that decision. Act on that decision and then reflect on what that caused. That will get you in the loop of doing action and reflection rather than overthinking and never acting. Scorpio and Taurus. If this is your combination, then value is the shared language that they're speaking. Scorpio wants transformation and depth. Taurus, on the other hand, wants stability and for things to stay consistent. So your exercise is identify one thing in your life that no longer serves you and start with something small. Something like, I am not having biscuits with my tea anymore because I need to cut down on my calories. Then you replace that with grounding habit. Maybe you like watching TikToks about people removing earwax. Every time you have your tea and you're not having that biscuit, indulge in 5 minutes of earwax removal. That way you're grounding when you transform. Sagittarius and Gemini, this one is super fun. So the language they speak is truth. Gemini wants information and Sagittarius wants wisdom. So a practical thing that you can do is every time you learn one new thing, you then immediately translate that into explaining that concept to someone else. That way, you're not just learning, you're also teaching, and you're balancing that curiosity with wisdom. Cancer and Capricorn, your language is security. And Capricorn wants to be a safe space. Cancer wants to feel emotionally safe. So what you're going to do is every time you feel a bit dysregulated, you're going to ask yourself, do I need comfort right now, or do I need an action plan? Don't judge yourself and go for your first instinct. Sometimes you need a cup of tea. Other times you need to make a list with 5 things that you don't want to do, but that you're definitely going to do. Both are important. If you have Leo and Aquarius, then the language that they're talking is identity. So Aquarius wants collective contribution. Leo wants personal expression. What you're going to do is make a list every single week about one thing you genuinely did where you were shining and authentic and who you were. And one thing that you did that was completely only for the community or the collective, with nothing to do with you. That will help you train your identity so that your subconscious and conscious understand each other. So the moral of the story, we don't want to fight our subconscious. We want to learn the language it speaks, and then we want to let our conscious mind talk to our subconscious, become kind of the translator. The more you do these exercises, the more you will become aware of how your conscious programs your unconscious. If you're a ride or die and made it to the end, I want to ask you something. If you could have only one superpower, what would that superpower be? For me, it would definitely be being able to control time.